surprised how many people actually gravitate towards the wastewater side.
Very true.
Much better puns on the wastewater side.
Yeah,
Sure.
assistant general manager, affectionately known as number 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think it's just because of lack of education that they come in without a lot of knowledge and they learn a lot and they're surprised?
Yeah, definitely. It's and just kind of the ick factor of what wastewater is. There's a natural gravitation away from it. Just because I don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
But they don't really understand it from just never being exposed. Excuse the pun, but exposed to wastewater. So once they get that exposure and actually learn of the technical nature of it, it especially those people who are more interested in the technical field, they tend to gravitate towards that.
That's fantastic. And if you had to guess, because we've talked about the drying up of the pipeline, I'm gonna just continue with the puns here. Drying up of the pipeline. Is it more for water or the wastewater side? If you had to take a guess, as far as people retiring and the pipeline.
Well, internally, it's for our staff, we have a lot of retirements on both sides of the house.
Okay.
So it's just we have a lot of longevity here, and we've had waves of the silver tsunami retirements, and we'll have another wave. So I can't really put an emphasis on one side or other internally. I don't know from as far as interns and other what people are interested in coming in as far as backfilling those positions. My guess is that most of them want to backfill on the water side, and then once they get exposed, then it kind of switches around a little bit. But you may know more than I do.
Yeah, I think James hit it right on the head that there was a certain amount of, ick factor, and I
It's
think when
kept
they
us alive for
realize,
years as a species, so it's probably healthy.
but that they really wear a lot of PPE to keep themselves safe, and then they're not like knee deep in sewage, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, okay, well, good. Well, that's really great to know, and I'm glad that she's starting, and I look forward to more updates about, how she's doing. What I would like is, it feels like as a board, we hear about these folks, but then we never see them again.
Yes.
So I wonder if there's a way to recognize them at a meeting or meet them, or, some kind of interaction just to put a face, because this is a program that I am really proud of. And I think it does a service to the community. It will stimulate our economy. I think it's important that we see these folks and just, say hello.
I believe the first intern, I was gonna have him come to a board meeting, but he got called back to Colorado on a family emergency, and that's that. So
Yeah.
I can just reach out to them and see if they can come to a specific day or
Yeah,
something like
I think
that.
we met.
Or just come in almost as a speaker, like not really on the agenda, but just, hey, I'm a guy.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or in
Well, I mean,
Flavia's case.
we have our quarterlies with the board. Ideally, if we could bring them to the quarterly, we would recognize employee accomplishments, introduce new employees, and they would be one of the people we introduce. But if it doesn't work out with the internship schedule, we go to schedule them a different.
So timing.
Yeah, and I think we did meet Ben. I think Ben
Yeah.
did come by.
Oh, that's good.
He was in for something else.
He probably got a scholarship, right?
Maybe that's
I
what he
think
was.
so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're gonna meet Evan. He got a scholarship, so he should be there in a week and a
Okay.
half or whatever.
All right. Okay, good.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Anything else about that, or should we move on to the scholarships?
No, I think we're ready for scholarships.
Okay, scholarships.
So the checks are printed and the students have been notified. They're gonna come to the board meeting on the 19th. I've also got art contest kids coming that night, so some presentations at that board meeting. And made up a novelty check for them to hold up and asking Paul to print it out for us, so.
Okay. All right, great. I'm glad that we can continue to do that. And it's my hope that we can continue that program. We get, it's $1,000, and that's real money. That buys books and.
Yeah.
These two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Inflation, man.
Okay, landscape workshops, Vallecitos.
Yeah, so I'll give you both. Yeah, so these are starting, this is the threefold brochure that the city made. So we partnered up with the city on this effort. So we've got these workshops coming up kind of every other Wednesday evening. Kind of take you through the whole process with different topics. We just pulled in staff from the city of Escondido. We have some customers that are in Escondido, and at this point, there hasn't been a lot of people registering for it yet. So we've got room for 30, and we want to get 30. The water authority's paying to provide the class, so we do want the attendance. So they'll be from like 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in our training room. And the fact that we do have this nice both demonstration garden out front, and then I'm not sure if you two have noticed it, but the employee garden that got so bad over COVID. Some of the, I think it's the collections guys cleaned it up. It looks
Okay.
good over there.
It looks
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
They put drip system.
Yeah,
in.
yeah, so we can do a lot of demonstration out there as well, so all good stuff on that front, so.
So the first two meetings are coincided with board meetings also, so we'll be having board meetings. And it'll be at the same time, so you'll hopefully see a lot more activity in the parking lot.
Yeah, let's cross our fingers, right?
Okay, very good. Great, okay, well, hopefully we'll get some more folks registered. My plan is to talk to some more people using those flyers that you printed for me, so thank you.
And you can take these ones as well. I've printed some extras.
Okay.
I'm not a big threefold brochure person. In fact, when I first came here, the directive was quit doing threefold brochures.
Yeah, I'll just use the ones that you printed for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But this one was done by city staff, so.
Okay.
Knock yourself out, do the threefold brochure, makes you feel good.
Did they put it on the San Marcos city calendar?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll check, but I'm pretty sure they did. In fact, I believe Edith is gonna have some actual banners put up. San Marcos is pretty restrictive on signs. I mean, if you think about it, you look around, you don't see a lot of signs around town. They're very restrictive, but they allow themselves to do certain things.
Mm,
So they're gonna have some banners that are gonna be printed up with this information. So,
okay, well, good, that'll help direct folks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, any other comments or questions about that? Okay, contest updates.
So we will have poster contest winners here on the 19th. First place was Natalie Clark, second place Michaela Fuentes, and third place Grant Mew.
These are the fourth graders?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so they will be coming and have their presentation. We've got some loot for them and some gift certificates and such.
All three have come from.
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
so that's good because that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
They can be
Mhm.
on
One.
sometimes. Yeah.
What schools are they from?
One of them's from Double Peak, and then I think the other from Bay Point, which I think may be like a charter school or something like that. So I'm not sure about the other one.
so they're going
Um,
on the 19th, right?
So, and separately, we have landscape contest winners. First place, Dean Williams, second place, Donald Datar, and then third place, Miley Lee. And Alicia is actually doing videos of them. So when those videos are complete, we will have them in for award ceremony.
Okay, yeah, the videos have been really good.
So in an interesting story, one of the winners last year had kind of a medical setback, like a bad one,
Oh, okay.
and kind of maybe life-changing setback,
Okay.
and kind of reached out to Alicia. And he wanted to like help other people with this process of doing landscape transformation. So kind of a little touching moment between Alicia and this person.
Yeah,
Because she went out and filmed him those
okay,
times.
yeah.
And I think we may invite him to these classes so he can talk and maybe present to the people, hey, you can do this. I did this, you can do this. I don't think he can drive, so we may have to go fetch him or something like that. But nice to see, the connection stays. It just doesn't disappear.
Sure, yeah, that is nice. And redoing your landscaping is kind of daunting, especially when you get into the irrigation aspect of it.
Right.
And if you're not handy, it can be a little overwhelming, but having someone say, here's how I did it, and it really wasn't that difficult, that will hopefully inspire other people to do it.
Truly.
I would like to see him because I am dumped. The irrigation
Right.
part of my.
Well, that one class on September 13th, right?
Yes, because the other two, I cannot attend.
Gotcha.
That board meeting. Okay,
Maybe get there late.
okay, anything else about contest updates?
That's it.
Okay, all right, staffing update.
So the thing I wanted to fill the committee members in is Lisa's out with thumb surgery. So she'll be out for pretty much July.
Okay,
So it's me and Alicia this month, and it's harder. She's so creative, and I was trying to put together this like big check. And I was like, where's Lisa when I need her? That kind of thing. So I just wanted you to know
Okay.
if you notice like our social media isn't pushing as it's me having to run it. I'm not as clever and not as creative. So
okay, is she home? Is she-
yeah, she's on.
All right,
And then just a update on that. Yeah, you guys have met our new human resource manager Denise,
Mhm.
already. Our in the budget, the board approved assistant O&M manager with the pending retirement with Ed coming in 2024. We actually have over 60 applicants for that job. I haven't gone through them yet, which is really impressive because I was really worried that'd be a hard position to fill, and I think several good candidates. And then besides that, human resources, I'm busy just filming. Yes, we have multiple retirements coming up in August and July. There's a couple. There's another one's coming up later this at the end of the year. So we're already ramping up to try and backfill those positions, so this way we're not down too long when those people retire. So.
okay,
So.
wow, 60 applications. So what is the process? Our HR
So
first
yeah.
screens them first and then passes them to you?
Yeah, I haven't even seen a single one yet. So HR will screen them from a qualification and put them into a couple different categories. Yeah, if everybody qualifies, they go here based on minimum qualifications.
Okay.
And then there's an ideal candidate sheet that you put down, and then people who meet the ideal candidate sheet go into another pile. And then we'll see how big those piles are to see if we have to bifurcate them anymore.
Okay.
From there, they'll go to Ed Pedrazi, obviously, because he's the hiring manager, myself, probably Glenn, will review it. And then in this case, we'll probably get outside panelists to review, because I think we're gonna have at least a few internal candidates. So we'll probably get outside candidates to do the interview process. Maybe one of us will sit in with them, maybe we'll be all outside. HR we'll work with HR to figure out what the most fair way is. This way, the second interview, then it will be probably Ed, and myself. The second interview, but the first interview, maybe all outside candidates.
And so, go ahead.
We just did a big wave of hiring, and similarly, like for every role that we posted, like anywhere from 50 to 100 applicants. And I think that so many of these places that we posted has like one click opt-in for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the optional stuff is like fill out the questions that we ask, the pre-screening questions, submit a cover letter, and just those two actions alone screen out so many people, because in our pre-screening questions, we did a lot of very role specific, industry specific questions. And so many people would just try to like chat GPT it, and chat GPT would throw out like the wrong acronym for like another industry or something. So it's really easy to screen those people out. And then the cover letters, like it's amazing how many people don't do cover letters these days. And it's like, you don't even care.
You get a
enough-
bonus point if you're proud.
Yeah, you don't even care enough to write a letter. So
We use a program called GeoGov. GeoGov, yeah. And so you have to apply through that
Right.
process, and if there's any questions, answers, you have to fill in everything. If it's incomplete, it won't submit it, so they have to actually send the effort to complete it. And instead of like a LinkedIn where you just push it
One,
out.
yeah,
So
Mhm.
it's a good
Okay.
signal.
The panelists, where would those folks come from?
they come from other agencies, probably most likely either the O&M manager level or AGM level, so from those agencies. So
How do we ensure that we are trying to put forward a diverse applicant pool?
so our application process, when all the reviewers get it, the name is and locations, the addresses, all that stuff is redacted. So all we see is the person's qualifications and what they put down. Matter of fact, even in the cover letter, if they do anything that may tell us their race or gender or even physical location, so people say, oh, this person lives in LA, I don't know,
Right.
that's all redacted even in the cover letter. So what we see is specifically just qualifications and what they put down. And even if they went to a university that's accredited, but it's in a different country,
Mhm.
even that information is redacted.
Okay.
So
Very good. Okay, anything else about that? What's, I do have another question. What's the timeline then for this particular position?
Assistant O&M manager, we are accepting applications open until filled, but the July 14th is the first cursory review.
That's just like around the corner.
Yeah, Monday. So at that point, HR will kind of put a stop. We still accept applications and they'll basically take that group and start evaluating that group. We're not in a rush to hire somebody. We want to hire the right person, so we'll just probably slow play the process. We're not going to get somebody on board until probably October, November at the earliest. October would be the earliest, I guess.
Friday. That's right.
It's
July 14th.
Okay, yeah. So,
Okay.
So in other words, I won't see applications until the week of the 16th sometime, so.
Okay, very good. Okay, take your kids to work day, July 20th.
Right, so I suggested this go on the agenda because we hadn't done this since 2019.
Okay,
So kind of had to look through and find all the old documents that we had from that. They have to fill out waiver forms and such like that. So yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna do it July 20th. So
how did it go? This is
they've always
before-
been really fun, and we typically try to do some sort of tour for the children, here at the yard. Let them see some things, specifically like the combination truck out there and working and so forth.
Mhm.
I have leftover succulent terrarium materials that I'm gonna let them make a terrarium with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but typically, like, what we recommend is that you take them to lunch and then probably take them back home.
Mhm.
You can keep them if you want, but there's a few points on the tour in the morning, but then the afternoon is your problem, and they can stay and sit with you if you want them to.
Are all yours coming, Anthony?
I don't know. Bring all five, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
All the high schoolers are probably uninterested.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I remember going to work with my dad. It's one of the funnest things. Definitely played with the copy machine a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Drew a lot of pictures.
Yep. But I'm happy to have it again. It's been something that's you kind of lose track of the fact that you haven't done that for years.
How many kids do you think we'll have?
40, maybe 30,
Wow,
40.
okay.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of interest.
Yeah. In fact,
Yes,
they
it's
were pestering Bridget about it.
Okay,
And then I think then they started pestering me, and I was like, her, should we do this? And she's like, if you run it, we'll do it.
And Lisa's out.
Right, right, but it's all good, and you gotta do it. You know, you sort of gotta do it in July, because once August starts rolling around, yeah, and
First week of
June's too early, you know, you gotta, July is the month to do it, so
Mhm.
gotta get it done.
Well, great. I'm glad we're doing that, and I'll be interested to hear how it goes. And
All three of my kids went through a different point. My little guy was into tractors, so he got to sit on the tractor, take a picture with him.
that's
So,
awesome. Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow, that is the last action item. Any comments or questions or anything else that we would like to see on an upcoming agenda?
Not presently.
Okay, I think that we've talked about putting the employee handbook back on the agenda for next time. And I think that requires some homework of us to look through the table of contents. I don't know that I have an updated table of contents. Can that be sent out to us again?
you're referring to the board member,
Handbook. Did I say employee handbook?
yeah, I'm working on that too.
Human
so-
board member handbook. So we can look through the table of contents and just see if anything's, do a spot check and see if anything's missing that we would like to see. And provide our ideas
Yep.
for the next board meeting, and then we can review it. My expectation is not that it will be completed. It's just, here's what we think should go in it. And I think having a board perspective, particularly from you as a very new board member, would be really valuable. So if we could get a copy of the table of contents
Yeah.
emailed out,
Yes,
that way we can just look through it and see, and provide our comments, and then we can move forward.
Yeah. So our plan is, I will definitely send you out a table of contents. Our plan is on the August P3, bring a draft, updated draft, and it's especially if we get any additional comment from you guys, may not be complete, but it would be a working draft at the P3 committee on August, and then we'll take direction at that meeting to bring it to the next appropriate board meeting if you guys feel okay.
Okay, so let's do this. Send us the table of contents. We will bring our recommendations to that board meeting in August. We'll have a draft to look at. We can, we can look through it, thumb through it. Seeing a document for the first time, I'm not going to be prepared to like say, oh yeah, this looks great and let's move forward. So we'll need to take it back and then have a look through.
Yeah, and that's why we'll wait for direction. They say, let's take this to, second meeting in August, or take this to first meeting in September to the board.
Okay.
After we've had a chance to digest it.
Yeah, okay. All right, that sounds good.
Just want to let the committee members know too, it is a very rough draft.
Sure, okay,
So something Ann and I worked together, so I'll send you the table of contents. I know Glenn was really wanting to look at it too beforehand.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Just so you know that ahead of time, that it's pretty much, we deconstructed the old one.
okay,
That was about
great.
6 inches and tried to narrow that down as much as possible.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
But just so you know that.
If it's not ready, that's okay. If you're not comfortable yet providing.
No,
it,
it's no problem. I just want to let you guys know
Okay.
that, that is a very rough draft, so.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, my expectations in August, you're gonna see the rough draft. We're gonna, with Glenn's and my comments addressed hopefully on it, or at least in process. We
okay,
can give you a more in-depth update of how it's laid out and get your feedback as far as the structure of it, the layout, and then obviously you'll have an opportunity to take it and review and provide additional comments.
okay. All right, I think that's it then, right? Anything else? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.